right, got another one here. So this is continuing the Discovery Center Dino Quest. So we did the Disco Dino, but they like the light so much that they want us to light up this billboard for them. So this billboard's already existing. So I got some pictures here. So we're just going to be adding this light bar kind of thing. So this is sort of the idea, something like that. It's going to come out from behind. So that's going to look like that. So it's going to mount on this bar. This is 2x2 steel. It's got these tabs, so that's all existing. And then it's going to go into this here wet location plug-in socket. So they'll just lift that up, plug in. And then our little unit is going to sit, the power is actually going to sit, let's see what we got right there. So power will sit over here. It's going to mount to this bar and it's going to go across, and then it's going to be on the other side over here, and that'll be this mount. But so that looks like this. So kind of like this. This view's from the back. So power will be over here. We got the light gray right here. This is the existing kind of layout. So you can see those tabs. You can see where the bolts are and stuff like that. And that's where that plug is. So nothing too crazy, but just want to go over it and show you some things and show you some pitfalls and some challenges. So with that, let's get after it. Lay of the land. I got the frame pieces. You got the end caps. You got the main light fixture. You got sort of the crossbar on the back to give it strength. And then you got your sort of mount plates there. And then these are the actual light bars. So very similar to what you just did. It's just a little bit smaller. And then it's going to be this custom little power box that goes on the back. You're going to rivet together. And then we have just a single little white light tray where you're going to put some LED strips. That's 063 white. And then there's going to be a 3/4 inch clear lens with a 3/8 groove. It's going to hog all this out here. Nice island fill. And then that's where the channel will be for the LEDs. So again, it's nothing crazy. You just kind of did this. This should look very familiar to you. So you're going to get these, slide this inside here, slide that inside there, and then use these guys to rivet that together. And then you're going to have two L's. You're going to have the power side, and you're going to have the non-power side. So non-power side has nothing on it, and there's no holes or anything. Obviously, everything that's power is going to have a P on it, and the P, because I have the power, is all going to be everything on this side. So if you're looking at it from the back side, which is, this side here, the back side, where's the good shot? That one there. So from this side power, this technically is the left if we're standing back here in the rock. So, but it's kind of tough for the left and the right. I could have done port, but port was P. So whatever. So as you're looking at it, everything's on this side. So P's power. This guy here, you're going to flip this over. This is actually upside down. You're going to flip this back this way, and then that plate will kind of be showing this way. So anyway, so everything, there's no welding, there's no lords. It's all riveted together. So you're going to go ahead and rivet together your L's, get those brackets made, get this L put together, good to go. Then you're going to go ahead and take these plates here, and you're going to kind of sandwich. This is like this little 1-2 bend. This flange here goes up against this green plate. So if you look at it from the side, you can see where the green plate is in the front sorta, and it faces forward. The lights here. The green plate faces forward and then tucks under, and then that kind of closes off the tube. So you slide that down, and then the purple guy here goes this way, and then back. And then that's the mounting plate that goes all the way down. So that's like here. So that's the mounting plate. But then this part curves up. And so you're going to hit that with rivets from the front. And then these here will coincide with these right here. So this is your sort of main, strength plate that runs across. Because originally, Jim kind of had this figured out as like, well, let's have this with these two legs. But the torsional, this is 4 feet across, and it'll be all twisty and bendy because it's just going to be an 090 box. So I went ahead and put the brace along the backside too. So that way this is a nice unit, just a little piece across like that. So these plates here, like I say, you do a 1-2 bend, and then they actually rivet to the front. And then they're going to actually rivet 3 rivets here into the L's. So that's right here and here. And then on the front side, you also get these 3 rivet holes here that go into the L's, into the legs. So front and back. So that'll create one big sandwich. So that's how that'll all work. So go ahead and rivet together the power box. So the power box is a 1, 2, 3 bend. So you're going to bend this, you're going to bend this, and then last you're just going to put a 45 lip. There wasn't enough room to put the angle bend there, but you're not going to do full 90 on that. Just give it just enough so any water spills off. And then you have an inside tray where we're going to do keystone, either 24 or 12, whatever you're working with as far as light tape goes. I left that for you, but it is going to be, and you got 2 points here for ground. It's going to be a tight fit. And then the switch is going to mount to the door. It's going to poke through and you're going to mount it there. And then this is going to flip around and then just mount, to like we do. It'll have that there and that there. These guys go flanges out like we do. And then this side will be for a liquid tight connector for cord. So because this is going to mount and just plug and play, essentially, lift this up. This is a watertight or, wet location and then the cord's going to come out and run along. I believe Jim said he's going to install this. So we need to make sure it's plug and play, literally. So I did order up. I didn't know if you had any plugs. So I ordered up a couple of these McMaster. These are wet location. I think these are SWJ, whatever they are. So you're going to take, and this is coming from McMaster as well. So you're just going to get that in there, do this, get it grounded up nice. And then Jim said that these guys do sort of dot their I's and cross their T's. So they're going to want to do probably UL. So we do want to do like probably just an electric sign label, but that if we do a cord connected sign, everybody playing along at home, I believe it's 20 pound for 1 minute. So you're going to want to do a test to make sure strain relief is good to go with this guy. But also this is wet location, so that should be good. And it should do watershed okay with the switch and everything. So anyway, so that's that. So get this built and then go ahead and get these guys riveted together with the L's, but don't do the tray yet. So you can do this part, do the back part, and then you're going to use these access holes from the front to get to these rivet holes here to be able to rivet this whole assembly onto the plate. So these holes here will be what you use to put this whole system onto the backside plate here. So, and then you can see right here, these are the corresponding access holes to get to those with your rivet gun through here and here. So it's a little bit of a threading the needle thing, but when you're done, this should be riveted to the backside of that purple plate, and it should go right along with the curve, the top part there with the rivet there, this little guy here. So it should be even. So it should look pretty sexy. A little box poking out. Here's your switch. And then this is going to run along to the plug there. So I think you guys get the idea. 4 shots here, 1, 2, 3, 4 self tapper, 1, 2, 3, 4 self tapper. And then I have holes here in the green guy right there. If you want to run, if Jim wants to run a couple verticals just to make sure it's nailed down, they have provision there. So, and again, that's kind of where, now that you see what's up, this plate should be right about here. 4 screws, frap, 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 frap. And then it should be 4 screws here, frap, frap, frap. So now these bolts might come into play. I think they stick out about 1 inch. So hopefully I went ahead and made clearance for those. They should be right there per Jim's measurements. So that should give us a little bit. It's a nice little detail, looks cool visually, but that should allow if those bolts need to poke through. Because again, I don't know if Jim's going to have the ability to chop those off. But this whole thing's just over 1 inch. It's 1 inch and 09, so it should still fit in there. So this is all no fly zone. Hopefully there's no conflict there as it sits on the 2x. So hopefully that works for him. So go ahead and get this guy built, get that riveted to the purple, get that riveted together, put the crossbar, get these L's good to go, get everything riveted, but do not do the box yet. So now you can set that aside because I think that whole thing's good to go. Now you're going to bend this up, 1, 2, 1, 2, good to go. And then you're going to do 1, 2, and 2 on the ends. And then the power one has the hole through for a leash. So put the power on the power side, and then you're good to go there. Now, before you assemble this to the box, you're going to rivet it together, but do not assemble that yet. Let's go ahead and mount the acrylic while it's loose. So while it's loose, this is the lighting assembly right here. So you've got these riveted in, the caps. then go ahead and put a little bit of caulk, because we don't want a light leak on the seam over here. So caulk that up pretty, okay. But keep this clean, because this now is going to become a landing shelf for your acrylic when you slide it in. So don't get any caulk on that ledge, but try to make sure there's no light leaks coming through here. I'm not sure, because this is all going to get painted. Hopefully they throw some Bondo on those seams on the side. That would be great, but we'll see. Anyway, so take your acrylic with nothing on it, and then go ahead and put it in. Make sure that the 3/8 trough for LEDs are facing into the cabinet, into the box. And then when you do that and it bonks, because this is metric, you know who I'm talking to. This isn't 3/4, obviously. This is going to be 0.71. So this isn't going to be an exact, but it should be about an 1/8 inset. So let this bonk, and then whatever you have, just kind of make sure it's not sagging or dipping. And then you're just going to line it all up. And then you're just by hand going to do hand drill the holes. So make little marks for yourself, get them started, dimple, and then you can pull it out and drill better. We're going to use those screws that we like to use. I brought them in. So you're going to have the cord, you're going to have these screws, and you're going to have the strain relief for McMaster. So look for that probably on Tuesday. So you're going to have the number 6 screws. I think you guys roll a 7/64 on that, maybe an 1/8 inch. I don't know what you guys use for number 6. I forget. So anyway, so you're going to do the 4 on one side, 4 on the other. That's going to handle the mounting, like right there. So that's going to handle the mounting of the acrylic into that guy. So it'll look like that. So it'll look at a little bit of lip, looking good along the sides. And then I went ahead and made this thing stick out at the ends. So that way there is a chance that somebody might bonk their head. So you can see where this gives you a little bit of round, rather than somebody nailing this. If it was just that square corner, somebody could possibly hit their head if they get too close. There shouldn't be any reason for anyone to be standing this close to it. But if somebody for some reason wants to walk up, their head could be right about here. So we want to make sure. So that's why you have these 2 guys sticking out at the ends to try to help deflect any bonk. But that's kind of how that's going to look. So get this mounted up, get these drilled, ready to go. And then you're going to take your lens before you put any LEDs on there and just lay it onto the top where the trough side is up, like right here. And then that's how you're going to drill these. Same screws, same method. Lay it out there, get it centered this way. You can see where it's almost to the ends there. So go ahead and get this guy lined up, and then go ahead and get your holes drilled for those. Obviously, don't go all the way through, but just long enough, whatever you need. So number 6 is to hold the LEDs, and number 6 is to hold the lens in place. So then once you're done with that, and you have this already fitted and drilled, then you're going to go to first shot. So because Jim says there's a chance when people are coming up a stairway somewhere that they might be underneath and catch an angle and might get blinded with some LEDs. So let's make sure that we put some diffuser. So just put some diffuser on the face, and then we're done. But get it fitted and everything first, and then give it to first shot. And then for LEDs, we wanted to use a linear strip. Let's not do Bendlux. We'll save that for other things. But we want to do a linear strip. Just for layout purposes, I use the flex tape, the Sloan flex tape, but just 0.3. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I have it basically a 1/2 inch apart. So if you eyeball there, this is 0.3. This would be Sloan flex tape. Do 2 strips down the middle, and then give yourself leashes at the end. Now, I don't know if you actually fits. Might be a little short. That'll probably be okay if it's a little short. I just went ahead and just made it like that. But even if it's a little short, whatever, should be fine. But give yourself just some fresh little guys out, and then you're going to be making your connection inside the housing. So the whole idea is that once you get the LEDs and this thing's ready to fire up, this will actually be sort of like a cartridge. So the LEDs will be on the back firing into the thing. So this whole thing will light by itself before it's even mounted. So then you're going to make a page blue leash into this area, and then go ahead and use these little guys, make your connection, and then stuff this up in, and then nail it down with your side screws, and then we're good to go. So that'll blast out. So this actual housing, the metal part, I was going to actually kind of maybe stick the LEDs up here, but the way this is working out, this actually becomes sort of like the actual light cartridge. So this just becomes a holder. So this whole thing is just a holder. So anyway, so you'll get that handled, a little bit about a 1/2 inch in between, just make it look like that. Just as long as it sits in the trough, there's room. So anyway, so that'll be your final assembly when it comes time. So speaking of which, so now once you have this mounted, everything's all taken care of, then go ahead and rivet the box into the arms. And that'll be kind of like the last thing you do. So just tuck it up in, make sure power's over there. And then that should line up the hole there, into the hole in the L. And then this is, like I say, somehow this might not be too fun, but you get yourself some page blue, and then you're just going to feed it through. Because these were so small, these I didn't have the ability to add little doors and things like I was able to with the other Dino one. So access is not going to be fun, but I think you guys can get it done. You might be able to stuff the blue and just get it, power it through this. If not, what I like to do is take a little bit of string and the layout string for like install concrete string, and then just put a bunch in there and then use your air nozzle and blast air through, and it usually will power the string through. Then you can tie the string to the wire and pull it through, but it's not going to be fun. Also, yes, I suggest you do this before you actually rivet this on. So, because that way you can actually get in there and do that. So, and then you might, yes, in order to do that, you might have to like push this out of the way, put this in there, and then kind of pull it back through. You'll figure it out, but it's not going to be fun. So that is a heads up, and I apologize, but there's not much you can do about it. So you'll figure it out. And then bring the blue out. The blue goes through this hole here, and it will poke into the area here. So then you can make your connection. And then your switch lives a little bit above, and then you can bring this. So it'll be tight in here, but I think you guys can make it work. And then there's your plug. So again, Jim has fantasies of him going over and do this himself. I would suggest giving him the self-tappers he needs. These are just gonna be like number 10. Make sure they can drill through that steel. And then also give him the squares that we do with the zip ties. And so that way he can secure that cable, and maybe some zip ties that maybe longer ones. And if the cable's too long or something, he can kind of bunch it, and then just so it looks nice for that, so it works its way over. We definitely don't want to have it like I have it here. I doubt they'll like that. So, and again, he says these people are kind of on the ball, so let's make sure we do a UL label. But as usual, we're up against it. I think Jim wants to install this on Thursday. I think they have a grand opening, as always, but this also needs to be faux finished. So that's why I'm kind of doing this on Sunday. Let's get this powered through as fast as possible, get it to paint as fast as possible, and get all this taken care of. That way it's off your radar. So, but anyway, so I think that's it though. All this, I think you guys get the idea. So, but yep, that's it. So if you have any questions, hit me up.